I am your host, Nizzy, and in this video, you guys, we're going to be breaking down the new contract that was just made official this morning, where Mike Smith signs a 2-year deal with the Edmonton Oilers to stay with Edmonton for the next 2 years. I think this is a huge signing for us, you guys. Obviously, we needed some sort of goaltending. Mike Smith had an outstanding year for us in a shortened season last year. Definitely was not the reason why we lost 4-0 to the Jets. I mean, he was the only reason that we're even close in some of those games in the playoffs there. And we got him for a pretty nice price as well. Ken Holland did a fantastic job being able to get this guy inked to an extension for 2 years. Obviously, with Mike Smith being pretty up there in age, I think he's 39 or 40 going into this season. I would expect this probably to be his last 2 years before he retires. Love to get this guy a cup, man. I'd love to see the Oilers be able to make a good push in the next couple of years and take a cup home. That would be fantastic to see. Pretty nice salary for him. It's not too crazy, only $2.2 million per season on average. So a pretty affordable contract, fair for both sides in my opinion. Nothing crazy like that stupid Koskinen money where he's getting $4 million a season to be basically a backup goaltender. I know there's talks about the Oilers possibly letting him go and just taking a bit of a hit so they can save some room and trying to bring in another number one and kind of have Mike Smith running as a number two. So we'll have to see what happens with all that, but Mike Smith is a great option to have. He was the backbone of the Oilers last season, probably one of the biggest reasons we were able to make it to the playoffs. He had a .923 save percentage last year, which was outstanding, one of his best save percentages as a pro. Had a great record as well, finishing with 21 wins, 6 losses, and 2 OT losses in 32 games played. Obviously, I think it was only a 56-game season last year. So it was a bit of a shortened season, which I honestly think benefited him just being an older goalie. He was more fresh. He obviously had that undisclosed injury at the beginning of the season where he missed, I think, the first 15 or 20 games before he came back to the team. And we needed him, man, because as soon as he came back, you've seen the tides turn. Just that fight and that heart and that spirit of the guy. You know, the ultimate competitor, wants to do everything to help his team win. Great leadership qualities, one of the best leaders that the Oilers had on the team. So it's great to have him back in the fold with us. Hopefully that helps us in pushing forward through the playoffs here, and hopefully we can get closer to that Stanley Cup. But we'll have to see what happens, you guys. It's going to be interesting to see if they decide to let Koskinen go here, and then if they try to bring someone else in. I think it'll be tough for Mike Smith to have like a 60 or 70 games played this season, obviously being sold. I just don't see him as that guy who can go and play and give you good 60 outings or 65 games. I think it's going to be balanced out where we're going to have another goalie to play 40-45 games, so that way Mike Smith doesn't have to take the bulk of the load. Just with his age, obviously, you know that the guy's just going to get too burnt out before the playoffs. He did outstanding for us. Obviously, he got no help in the scoring department from his teammates. It was just pretty atrocious effort from the Oilers, unfortunately, in the playoffs. No fault to Mike Smith. He did everything to hold us in there. His goals against average was pretty low during the playoffs as well. Just like I said, we couldn't score. We couldn't put the puck in the net and give him any help offensively. So really not his fault there. I expect him to have another good season for us here. And we're going to have to see what the Oilers decide to do if we can bring another goalie in, man. I'm not too sure who's available in free agency for goalies this year. But we're going to need to address something here because I don't think Koskinen's going to be the guy. He proved, that he just isn't it, man. And Chiarelli screwed us. Chiarelli absolutely screwed us with that hefty contract, paying him almost $5 million a season to basically be a backup. It's just, just hurt us in the cap situation, basically. So we got to try and move off that guy if we can. Obviously, Mike Smith taking a little bit of a cheaper deal is a good option to have, only $2.2 million per season. I think he earned every penny of it. And it'd be awesome to see this guy being able to walk off into the sunset as a Stanley Cup champion. So we'll have to see what happens there. The Oilers are still doing a couple retools here. I know they're talking about letting Jujhar Kerouac and Dominic Cahoon, as well as Koskinen. So they're going to be looking to retool here. I know they're still in talks with Tyson Barrie as well. He might be re-signing. Obviously, we lost Adam Larson. He went and signed a deal with the Seattle Kraken. So a few players leaving. Going to need to bring in some new additions, which is fine. This team needs a little bit of a retool here if we want to make a good push in the playoffs. We just didn't have enough guys, unfortunately, that were able to get it done for us last year. We got a few guys stepping up now, like Darnell Nurse has really stepped up his game. I'm excited to see the young talent on the defensive side there with Ethan Bear and Evan Bouchard getting more of an opportunity in the years to come. I think they can be really good assets to the team, given that they get more of an opportunity this coming year and the years to come. But we'll have to see what happens, man. But I think it's a great signing to bring Mike Smith back in. Like I said, he's a heart and soul guy. Plays as hard as he can for the entirety of the game. Some of the saves the guy was making last year was just outstanding. He was one of the biggest reasons we were able to stay in a lot of games and have that outstanding regular season. And we'll have to see what happens this year, if they're going to have that North Division or they're going to be able to get back to the normal Eastern-Western Conference. I hope it goes back to normal, you guys. I'd rather us be able to play more teams. I don't really like just having that one division because you don't get a chance to see kind of where the competition's at with some of those American teams. I'd rather be able to play, every team at least once throughout the season just to kind of get a feel for each team and see how things are going, right? But nonetheless, I think it's a great signing. Ken Holland, once again, is doing a good job here trying to get things sorted after Chiarelli basically destroyed the organization and put us, 3 or 4 years behind schedule. Ken Holland's doing the best he can to kind of get us back on track here. I think he's doing a good job so far, and Mike Smith signing a 2-year deal here obviously just adds to that. So love to get your guys' opinion in the comments section down below. Do you think it's a good idea that we sign Mike Smith to a 2-year deal here? Who do you think we could maybe go get for another goaltender if we do let Mikko Koskinen go? Would love to get your guys' opinion in the comments section down below. Once again, you guys, if you could like and subscribe to the channel, it means a lot to me, man. Appreciate all the support. And this is Nizzy with Nizzy Sports Chat.